Welcome back. In today's episode, let's have a throwback in 1986. So these figures are part of the cartoons named Centurions, Power Extreme. It's a part of a five-part miniseries. I think they had about 60 episodes. Let's start off with Ace McCloud. So Ace McCloud is the one with the least AWS, or what we call as assault weapon system. They're beamed from an orbital space station they call Skyvault, and they have an operator there named Crystal. So once they shout their cry, battle cry, power extreme, they get all these mecha suits. Front and center, we got Sky Knight. You got two thrusters at his feet. You got stencil missiles at the back. You got some bomb in here, some laser cannon in here. You can see, there you go. Take a look at the back. There's limited articulation with Centurions figures, so you can bend the knee like that, and then of course the tie, you can move the tie like that. Same thing with the hand, you can move it up, and then you can bend it like that. They do stand very well, but when you have a lot of mecha in them, like this one, sometimes it's hard to stand up. And with all the attachment that they have, this is the weak point with every Centurion figure. So as you take them up, put them back in, they get loose over time, so they become easy in terms of getting attached, and they fall off easily. And there you go, there's Sky Knight. And this one, you can rotate it, and again, you got his lasers in here. Now on my right is Orbital Interceptor, and I'm lucky enough to have a box for this. As you can see, this is the original box from the 80s. It says here, Air Assault Weapon System, and you got a nice picture in here, made by Kenner, of course. Even got the original price, which is $8.77. Okay, all right, at the back, you can see the different modes for this. You got the cruiser mode, you got the power blast, and you got the missile launch. Oh, missile launch, there you go. So let's look at the actual figure. So I'm gonna put it here. That happens. Oh, see, let's let you stand there, and you can see this one has the original insert in here. I don't know if you could see it, but it's a good thing to have. I'm gonna put it back inside, or let's just put it here for now. Okay, let's go to Orbital Interceptor. So this one has an atmospheric thruster, which means it can go into space. As you can see, he's got a jetpack in here that's bigger, and it's got a different battle modes, such as shown you at the back of the box. And you have particle beam deflector in here, and then you got here at something at the back like a radar. Okay, there you go, like a radar gun. You got his rockets in here, you got some lasers in here, and you got depth charges and this one right at the bottom, two of them. Now, as you can see, he has a different helmet. He's got a different helmet, a life support system, because this is designed to travel out in the outer space. So take it off, and there you go. Again, this one, you can turn it. You got some weapon in here on the side. There you go. I know I could remove this and then put this right here. See if I can do that. And if I turn this, you can see that the thing at the back turns and the missile launch on the one on top. So this one right here, I haven't played with this for so long that I forgot. What happened is that when you turn this, it actually activates the spring at the back, releases spring at the back, and releases this missile right here. So let's put it back where it was. There you go. And again, this part here, one of the most common that are either missing or broken with these figures, it's just due to the time. Okay, there you go. You can see the decals in here. Nice decals. And there's also another variant of Ace McCloud where it's a bit greenish instead of blue. I don't have that one. I don't think I need to. But you can see here, right at the back, all the nice stickers, labels in here. They still got everything. And this one is not going in the box. I just wanted them displayed. So here you go. You put it on the side. Because now we're going to go to the heavy hitter. Biggest one, the Skybolt. Before we proceed with Skybolt, there is another figure um, for Ace McCloud, but it was never released. It's called Stratostrike. If I can find a picture, I'm gonna put it in here. But other than that, this is what I have, the three of them. So let's look at the box. There's a big box right here. Again, without the figure, this is what it looks like. And we have here Skybolt. Massive air reinforcement. Well, it is massive indeed. Right at the back, again, you have the different modes. You have the reconnaissance mode. You have here the takeoff, and you have the anti-attack. On the other side, there you have again. So side, and let's get Skybolt in here. Now, as the box says, this is massive. Just take a look at that. And this is also the one that's hardest to stand, just because the back here, it's very heavy. This one is very heavy. Okay, so there you go. Let's look at that massive figure right there. So with each figure that I have, I will try to tell you the parts. I might call them differently. I forgot. I mean, they're very old, and I haven't played them for such a long time. Here you got the stabilizer booster pack, or I don't know, stabilizer pads. I don't remember what it's called. And you got the radar tracking wings right here. You got some missiles right here. and you got the weapons in here. They call this a galactic missile. This one called the galactic missile. And then he also wear a blue helmet just like the Sky Knight. You can see he's got a weapon system in here. Okay, look at that. And this one you can move. And this one right here. Let's see if I can lock it. There you go. It still works. And again, with all the other ones, this would be the most part this is missing, either missing or broken. So let's try this one. It still works. That's good. And this one you can rotate it, as you can see. As I do that, let's see, show you. Okay, so as I do that, you can see that this thing goes up and down. And at the back, it also has another gimmick. If you look at that, I don't know if you can see it, but that's about it. You just turn it, and that's the thruster. But you know, as a kid, when you had this, it's just massive, so massive, and so much fun to have, and so much part that you lose, break, well, mostly lose, because there's so much part into this thing, and you'd be lucky to find one that's in pristine condition and complete. So let's take a look at Max Ray, the Sea Specialist. As you can see, he's got 4 AWS. So he's got cruiser right here, tidal blast, depth charger, and the rare, very rare CVAT. So let's start off with cruiser. Now, before we start off with cruiser, with Ace McCloud, I did mention that there's another one that they weren't able to release. I think for Max Ray, they also failed to release a one that's called a Pattern Pan, something like that. Again, if I find a picture of that one, I'll share it on this video. But let's continue. So with the cruiser, he's got thrusters right here at the bottom. Okay, let me show you that. You got thrusters in here. He's got a missile in here. As you can see, you got some sort of an oxygen tank. And this one also launches. There you go. Let me see if I can launch this. Oh, there you go. Let me pick that up. Since we're talking about missing things, this is again something that's always missing when you get this figure. Anything that's not attached or something that you can launch, of course, will go missing eventually. As you can see, Max Ray has a green helmet, and this is supposed to be a radar gun, something like that. So he's very bare bones in terms of his exosuit, exoprime, whatever they call it. But this right here, you can press it, and if you rotate this, the back will also rotate. And there you have it. There's your cruiser. If it goes underneath the waves, he goes in like this, something like that. Lots of fun. There you go. Let's pick up Tidal Blast. Okay, you can see he's got pins right here at the bottom, the high powered kill pins. And if you go at the back, you can see that he's got Don't forget the repulsor cannon. And right at the back, you got two rotating, these are rotating, shark firing missiles. You want to fire this? Okay, let's fire this. See if I can remember how to fire this thing. I don't want to lose it, so you know what? I forgot. I forgot how to fire this thing. Thank you. You rotate it. Okay, let me see. Okay, where were we? Oh, we wanted to know how to fire this thing. People, play with your toys. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's rotate this. And there you go. One of them. One more. Oh. Well, it's supposed to fire, but it doesn't anymore. So maybe there's something loose in there. We'll just have to figure that out later. But that's how it goes. So you turn this on and this thing fires. That's how it's supposed to work. Unless I got it stuck in here somehow. Let me see. So got this one stuck. I unstuck it. So 1, 2. Isn't it amazing? You know, for how long these things have been, and they still work, and they're just simple, you know, missiles, and something just grabs it from the inside, and you got some spring, and it still works. Now, here, I got some buttons in here. I don't know what it does. So, Tidal Blast is one of those things with so many accessories. You got grappling hooks in here. You got, I don't know what this is. Landing pad, some sort of a landing pad. But there you go. I mean, I just love the combination of the orangey, green, and blue, and yellow. It's just so much fun playing with these things. I can imagine, you know, playing with this thing as a kid, and then, you know, you're doing this. Wow, so much fun. Okay, let's put it back. Okay, let's grab this big guy here. Depth charger. Look at that. It's amazing. Okay, so with depth charger, it's like a mini sub that you have. That's why you have this canopy in here. You got some weapons that doesn't want to stick. So you can see you got the canopy in here, and you got the pontoon thrusters at the bottom. And that's why when you stand them, he actually stands on those thrusters. And this figure, one of the most common thing to break is the connection for the legs here. So there's a connection inside. Oh, sorry, I'm pointing on the wrong thing. So see those two? A lot of times those breaks. And when they do break, you can put them on and then they're practically useless. Again, you can see all the decals in here. You got pins, front and back. And this one seems to me that it wants to fall somehow. Okay. And this one, you got some missiles again in front, two huge missiles, and you got a depth charge right at the back. That's why it's called a depth charger. He's got this huge charge in here that when he pulls and it pulls, that's it. So let's see. How do you release this? Press this? No. Oh, okay. I turn it. Nope. I told you, people, play with your toys. Okay, so let's see which one goes first. If I turn it, it doesn't turn. Something has to fall, but it doesn't. Oh well. Since this one doesn't want to fall, I gotta find a way to fix it. Let's start off with this one. So you got missiles in here. Try it. There you go. And then the other one, there's another button on the side. There you go. It still works. I like it when things are working. Okay, gotta put it in properly. There you go. And this thing is supposed to fall when you press this in. It doesn't do that anymore. Well, again, this is old. I'll try to see if I can open it up, see what's wrong. As you can see, it's got screws on the side, and this one doesn't want to stick right in. So, but this is depth charger, one of the best Centurions toys that I would say. I just love this canopy right here, and this like a periscope. Got weapon system. What else can you ask for, right? Look at that. Last but not the least, and the hardest one to actually find complete is CVAT. Look at CVAT right here. Complete with all the hoses, all the missiles. But before that, I want to go back to this one. Okay, so earlier you actually saw me trying to drop this charger using this depth charge using this. That's not it. I told you people, play with your toys. After so long, I forgot. So there's another one here. There's another button in here. You press it. There you go. Once again, press it. There you go. Okay, now we're going to Jake Rockwell. Now, what happened with this one is this was released in the second phase of the toy release. Release and release. Well, you know what I mean. So, this was released on the second one, and during that time, Centurions is popularity is waning, so their episodes ended, and so are their toys, and not many of these are made. As you can see, it's got a whole lot of missiles, two on each leg. You got the breathing apparatus in here. You got some weapons. This is not from CBAT. I just added this in because I like to. And you got missiles in here. And what am I missing? I'm missing something. Oh, sorry. So this is part of the of CBAT. It's the harpoon. What am I looking at? Okay, here. Okay, this harpoon right here is part of CBAT. This one is not. Okay, there you go. And this one, you'd be lucky to find all the hoses in good condition. Normally what happens is this hoses breaks. So if you're gonna remove them and put them somewhere, in another position, I would say put them in hot water so they become a little bit softer, and then you can bend it. Otherwise, if you just, from if you have them on storage for so long and then you remove this from here, put it in here, you're gonna break them. So with CBAT, you got this feature right here. As you can see, this thing is turning, and that's the feature of CBAT. This is easily one of the most expensive Centurions, if you can ever find it out there, especially complete. And if you find it in a box, then it is more expensive if you find it in a box. So these are the Centurions that I have, all four of them. The Phantom one I don't have. I think there are some collectors out there that are making one, but for personal consumption, they're doing resin or three different. They're not official releases, but from what I saw from some of the group that I have, they really look awesome. So if they ever think of selling one of those, I might get them. But for now, these are all the AWS for Max Ray. As you can see again, CBAT right here, very rare. You got Tidal Blast, you got Depth Charger, and you got Cruiser right at the back. And for the finale, we're gonna find out next. But before that, I want to go back to this one. Okay, so earlier you actually saw me trying to drop this depth charger using this depth charge using this. That's not it. I told you people, play with your toys. After so long, I forgot. So there's another one here. There's another button in here. You press it. There you go. Once again, press it. There you go. Okay, now we're going to Jake Rockwell. Jake Rockwell, the Land Operations Specialist. This is the figure with the most mecha, or AWS, or however they call them. As you can see, you have right at the very back, this one is Power Force. You got Wild Weasel. This can be converted into a motorcycle-like vehicle. You got here Hornet, so this one can fly. And you got here Detonator. And the most, or the hardest one to find, is Swing Shot right at the back. So we're gonna start with Fire Force. We have here Fire Force. So Jake Rockwell has a helmet composed of a green and yellow. As you can see here, I never showed you the head movement from the previous figures. They go side to side, and you can also do this like that. So it's got a fair amount of movement. And now for the weapons, for the components, you got the backpack here, and then you got the plasma accelerator. You put it in, and then you just release it. Boom, there you go. And now where did it go? It's right at the back. You should be able to find it. It's all yellow here. And so that's how it works. And right on there, you got the radar detector. Where's the radar detector on this thing? Let me find out. Okay, so this is the radar sensor for him. Let's put it in. That's the radar sensor. I mentioned you have the plasma regulator, and you have the twin laser cannon, plasma repulsor. So many names. Anyway, so this is it. This is Power Force with all his weapons. There you go. Look at that. This is the very basic for Jake Rockwell. He's the Land Operations Specialist. Let's go to the next one. So we got here Wild Weasel. He's in vertical mode. You can see in vertical mode you got the head protector right here, or canopy. You got the canopy, you can put it in, and you got the target locator in here. This one can turn, and then you got some pin stabilizer in here right at the bottom, and then you got the footrest here, Got the footrest in here, and then right in the middle, one of the most common missing in this set is the adapter flag plug. um, I'm gonna show you later when this thing converted into a motorcycle like figure and how this is very important. Now on the weapon you got two land laser, so let's try to convert this into um, the motorcycle mode. So I take this off right here, and I take this off right here, and this one goes to here. You can see now. And this one goes here. As you can see, now he's converted into a motorcycle figure. Is this correct? I don't know. This is how I remember it to be. Yeah. And this one, what you do is you actually, let me see, let me put it down. You remove this part. There you go. And this one goes in here. There you go. And this one goes here so it doesn't go missing, which is always missing. This one is always missing. However, in the cycle mode, as you can see, he's really good as well. Oh, this thing keeps falling. Let me just find wherever that thing is now. Well, I did mention a while ago the issue with this figures is that, you know, they're pegs. So these pegs right here, I can show you these pegs right here. So over time, you know, putting them in, taking them off, they tend to get loose. So when they're loose, they just fall off, just like that. So this one again, if I wanted to go back to vertical mode, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this here and put this here, take this thing off, and I'm gonna put you down, and this one goes in here, this one goes in here, and this one goes in the middle. Now you have that, and he can go like this. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Okay, there is, there you go, there's your wild weasel. Amazing figure. They're all amazing. I like them all, some more than the others, but you know, I like them all. Okay, now let's go to the Hornet. So with the land assault system, this is the one with the canopy. You can see here, you got the backpack lifting module, you got the chest pack, that's the control unit, you got the canopy here, you got the landing skids here, you got the sonic thrusters, you got the targeting sensors with missiles, and yeah, I mean, look at this. It's got a helicopter, right? You got the laser gun, you got the freeze ray. This is supposed to be a freeze ray. You got the sidewinder missiles. I mean, why wouldn't you love this thing? I mean, you got 4 missiles. You got everything on this thing, right? So if you look at this, right at the back, let's see. Okay, so right at the back you have a button here. So if I press it, come on, there you go. Isn't that fun? So when you press it, not only that rotates, the one on the chest also rotates. You see that? It's so much fun. Okay, there you go. Now, even with the canopy, you can also put the helmet on, but I chose not to. So I have an extra helmet for that. But yeah, this is the Hornet. Again, I mean, I love this thing. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the missiles and everything. Logos and stickers on this thing. Here you go. Amazing. And of course, one of the best weapon system in the entire Centurions is the detonator. Look at this. Look at this detonator. This is the tank. This is the tank of the Centurions. Look at all the weapon system that they have. You got the control unit in front. You got the chest. Oh, the chest backpack. You can see that there's a blast shields in here with the two cannons. You got the blast shields. Again, this one mostly missing. Very hard to find. If you don't buy, one in the box that's complete. And then you got the missile launcher. So let's launch it. We always do. So let's see if I remember how to launch it. You twist it, turn it. There you go. So much fun. There you go. And you can do the same with the other one, right? So all you have to do is twist this thing right here, and it launches the missile. Now, the splicer missile, that's what they call them. Okay, now they have a rangefinder at the top. This is your rangefinder, and you have a sonic ray gun. Sonic ray gun, if I can remember it correctly, that's probably what it's called. I don't know. I don't remember. I get mixed up with these things. I got a button in here. So what does it do? Here, let me show you. Whoa, look at that. Isn't that fun? Oh, that's so much fun. Okay, now, right at the back. Oh, I forgot. So right in front of him, he's got a sonic screen. Sonic screen. Yeah, that's what it's called. And you got two struts at the back. This black thing's right here. Again, one of the most common missing in this particular figure. And if you stand it right there, it allows you to angle it. So if he's targeting a flying object, you would just do this, and then you can just press this. There you go. Whoop. There you go. There you go. And then if it's against anything that's land-based, you just turn it like that. How great is that? Look at that. Look. Detonator. Next one. So I shuffled them around because I needed a space for this swing shot. Look here. So swing shot is one of the rarest Centurions toy. Very hard to find and very hard to complete if you don't have them, if you don't buy it as complete during the first time. Now, you can see this is apart from another toy. I just want to slap it in there, that's okay. I'm only missing one part here, and that would be the infrascope. So I got the targeting sensor, I got the howitzer, I got the projected missile, the armored mega blasters. There's two of them on each side, and I got the water treads. These are not the original. I have the original in my case. It's I'm keeping it in there. These things are very brittle, so over time, as you can see, this thing still bends. Over time, the other one, if you just bend it, it just breaks. So I don't want to put them in here to stretch them out. This one works for display. Now, this one has a gimmick. If you turn the backpack, the one on the backpack, so you can see the targeting sensor and the howitzer moves. There you go. It doesn't have a lot of parts compared to the other one, compared to the detonator, compared to the Hornet. It doesn't have a lot of parts, but this is very, very rare. It's very hard to complete and very, very expensive. If you find it with a box, it's gonna cost you a lot. So I'm happy with this one. If I could find the Improscope, I'd buy it, put it in here. If not, then that's just how it is. For the most part, I have them. So that's it. And when I say that's it for the Jake Rockwell. I do have the villains. So let's take a look. So I got the villains in here. I got the drone strafer. I got Doctor Terror. I got Hacker. And with this drone strafer and all the others one, you can actually take up one part and then merge them together like this. So starting off with the drone strafer, it's very simple. You got wings in here, you got legs, you got these lasers as the arm, as you can see, and you got some weapons in here as well. They're made of rubber. And this one, what you can do with this, you can actually tilt the head so it drops the bomb, just like that. Very simple. This is very simple. You could create an army of this. So I have a few extra for this. Again, one of the most common missing piece is the bomb in here, and the stickers. As you can see here, you can take half of Dr. Terror and half of the Dome Strafer and then just put them together, and then he can fly. Now, the main antagonist, here you have Dr. Terror. He's got his helmet. He looks ugly without the helmet, so I'm just gonna put it back in. And you can separate him in half, and then he's got his missile here, and you got the claw arm. In this particular figure, it's mostly missing the claw arm here. And then he's got a huge legs, huge foot in here. Here you go. I'm not really sure what this is called, but yeah. And his faithful henchman, Hacker. You can also take off the helmet, as you can see. You got a nice helmet over here. You got a nice bald head in here. Again, I don't know what this thing is called. He's got one arm on the other hand arm. He's got the mace and he's got the axe at the other side. Now this one, you can bend the legs. I wonder if you can do that here. You can also do that in there. See? Play with your toy so you know, right? Okay, then you can bend the legs just like the other ones. There you go. You can bend it from here, and you can also separate this in half and then put this together with the drone strafer or the doctor himself. Now, one figure that was released that I don't have is the Traumatizer. Traumatizer, along with Seabat and along with Swing Shot, is the most or the hardest to find and the most expensive. So I haven't had a chance to grab one, but there's always time. Now, aside from the one that were released, there are also the ones that did not make it into the toy line. It's the one is called something like Rex Charger, and then there's a John Thunder. So Rex Charger apparently have some electro charger that he has, and a Gatling guard for his mecha. John Thunder has a silent arrow and Thunder Knight. And I also mentioned that there's a Phantom Pan that was not released for Max Ray, and there's a Stratus Strike that was not released for Ace McCloud. And some of the picture or pigs that were not released. Crystal. So Crystal is a part. She's in the orbital um, up there, and she was not released as well. There's Groundborgs. There's a cyber panther, something like that, and a cyber shark, something like that, a robot shark. Those were not released. All in all, this toy line is really really good. You have to be careful with them, as like any other vintage toy. When they're really really old, you just have to make sure that they're kept in place. It's they're no longer meant to be played with because of their age. I know I did say that play with them. Sometimes you just take them out of the shelf. If they're not in a glass case, just clean them up. Other than that, I just keep them in the glass case to protect them. Yeah, you want to keep them at least in a place where you don't really move them a lot. Eventually, you want to clean them. So if you want to avoid that, put them in a glass case, or if you don't have any spot, at least put them in a place where they're not moved a lot. Because you saw what happened a while ago. I was just showing it, and then they just fall. These are old toys. And I did mention some of the toys that are not included, that were not released. I know Ramen Toys are working on releasing them. Um, so it's really going to be interesting on how they would turn out. And I do wish that you can interchange whatever parts that they put in those new figures with this ones. Aside from the fag, I think this is the weakest point of this toy line. Uh, this one right here, on this one. So you put them together, you take them out. What happened is that over time they would just get very loose, and then yeah, they just don't stick anymore. And that's my only issue with them. Aside from that, see this one, it's really really good, still good at this point in time. The So the other parts, the parts that are would release, they're also really really good. I mean, their springs until now, they're not rusted or anything like that. They still work. As you can see with this one, when we tried the missile for this, see, so that's what I mentioned about it being very loose. But then again, look at the missile in here. If I turn it, see, I mean, this is a very old toy, but if you look at the spring inside, no rust or anything like that, and it still holds it very well. It still fires. Again, the only thing is the feg. So put it back here. And one thing with collecting Centurions is that if you don't buy them complete and you buy them by parts, you would end up with different parts or extra parts, and that's what happens. So you try to accumulate them and then sell them later on to other collectors that needed them. Now, as I was saying, I do have some extra, like for the Ray, Max Ray. I'm starting to have extra parts, and I do go to toy shows from time to time to sell my extras. And this is an extra part for the C-Bat. You can see this is how it works, and this is the front. So when you don't have the figure, you can actually attach the front and back like this, and this goes to any other AWS in the system. But since I had the figure for this one, I had this like this, put it like that, and I'm gonna sell it like this. And even these two parts, to get this, it's really hard. It's very difficult. So to even get to this level of having the front and back, it's not easy. So watch what happens in front. So see that? It's now the basic mechanism. And after all these years, they still work. So that was what makes this particular series very, very good. So thank you for watching. I know this video is a bit long. I wanted to show all my Centurions at once instead of breaking them up into a different series. I will show you my favorite character from this line, which is Jake Rockwell, just because he has the most AWS, and I think he has the best. Although he doesn't have the most expensive, but you know, who wouldn't like this? Take a look at him. This is Detonator. Got the blast shield and all. The one on top. Especially when you get to do this. Oh, you need to. There you go. You get to do this. Incredible. And up and down. Against aircrafts. Against land enemies. There you go. And of course, the most expensive from this particular line by line I mean Jake Rockwell swing shot. I really don't know why. I mean, it's probably because they didn't put out a lot of this, but compared with Detonator, I like Detonator better. But this one, even just this tiny piece, it's just, it's just a lot. So if you look at it this way, and that's it. That's the action feature for this one. Again, this came from Max Ray. It's just an extra that I have, so might as well put it. As you can see, when he's on this particular mecha, his speed is not touching the ground, so he's lifted off. And really, in real life, I don't know how this works. You gotta have a Nexus suit that's really, really strong. So it's carrying you and it's carrying all this equipment. But it's a toy, right? And the simplest one, Fire Force, is okay. Oop. You got the cannon at the back, his own cannon, his own bazooka. He's a Fire Force. He's a force to be dealt with. There you go. Let's see if I can turn him without him falling. He's back heavy, that's why. So this figure is tight, except for the knee joint. But it's just back heavy. That's why it keeps him falling. Other than that, this is also a good figure. As you can see, there you go. There is an issue with the imperscope that he has, or the radar that he has, because it's hitting the helmet. Oh, yeah, but you could put it anywhere else. I mean, you have a lot of slots in here to put this in. Based on the packaging, this is where you put it, so that's where I had it. And another one of my favorite, simply because this is the only transformer among the weapon system of the Centurions. So you got the vertical mode and you got the bike mode, which I showed earlier. It's cool. You got independent laser here, so you can target different enemies. There you go. It's just cool. And this one, like I said a while ago, you can put the helmet on even when you have this canopy right here. So I'm just going to use this as a sample. So I'm going to drop it in there. See, it still fits, and then I can still close it. There you go. But I like him without the helmet for this particular one. So let's just put it in. You can't really see you. He's got to see the eyes are not level to this window right here. There you go. So everyone, thanks for watching. I know that this is a very long video. This is the first video that I have that's almost an hour, if not an hour long. I just enjoyed this thing so much, and I really like them. And there's a lot of characters that I didn't want to separate them or present them separately. So you've seen all the figures of the Centurions. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to get the traumatizer. It's not it's not that magnificent if you compare it to other robots. Like I mean, I'd prepare this detonator over traumatizer over any given time. The thing with traumatizer is that they had it on a very limited release, so it's very very rare. And again, when you talk about rare, you're talking about very very expensive and hard to come by. Again, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you like what you see. And you please subscribe to my channel, Dad's Toys and Things, where I will show you a lot of different toys from the current era that we have, or from the older ones, the 80s. I like to collect vintage toys from the 80s. Maybe some of these toys that you've never seen before. Actually, this particular Centurions here in North America, or especially here in Canada, a lot of people really don't recognize them anymore. So I want to keep them. I want to preserve them, so future generations, I know they're only toys, but at least future generations will still see them, will know that they were part of a lot of people's childhood. They were out there. And yeah, I mean, this is just one of the toy series. I have more that I could show you on some other videos. And of course, toys do come out with a new reissue, new releases, and entirely new sets. So as they come, and as I get them, I will add them to my channel. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye. And again, Hornet. I mean, just look at this thing. You got the weapon in here. You got another one here. But I don't know. I mean, you got this in real life. You got a missile launching from here, and your ear is here. You got to be deaf after a few tries. But it's a toy. It's cartoons. So as long as you can do this, and he's gonna go up. Just look at him. You got the sidewinder missiles. Same as this thing. You see, when he's using it, he's not touching the ground. So this thing is on his legs. Can you imagine the pressure this thing is putting on you if this is an actual exosuit? I mean, the concept is nice. I don't know about real life, but can you imagine if you really have this uh, exosuit and weapon system? There you go. So everyone, thanks for watching. I know that this is a very long video. This is the first video that I have that's almost an hour, if not an hour long. I just enjoyed this thing so much, and I really like them. And there's a lot of characters that I didn't want to separate them or present them separately. So you've seen all the figures of the Centurions. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to get the traumatizer. It's not it's not that magnificent if you compare it to other robots. Like I mean, I'd prepared this detonator over traumatizer over any given time. The thing with traumatizer is that they had it on a very limited release, so it's very very rare. And again, when you talk about rare, you're talking about very very expensive and hard to come by. Again, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you like what you see. And you please subscribe to my channel, Dad's Toys and Things, where I will show you a lot of different toys from the current era that we have, or from the older ones, the 80s. I like to collect vintage toys from the 80s. Maybe some of these toys that you've never seen before. Actually, this particular Centurions here in North America, or especially here in Canada, a lot of people really don't recognize them anymore. So I want to keep them. I want to preserve them, so future generations, I know they're only toys, but at least future generations will still see them, will know that they were part of a lot of people's childhood. They were out there. And yeah, I mean, this is just one of the toy series. I have more that I could show you on some other videos. And of course, toys do come out with a new reissue, new releases, and entirely new sets. So as they come, and as I get them, I will add them to my channel. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.